Welcome to the News First International Desk. Making headlines in the global arena, the European Union has welcomed the Greek Parliament's vote in favor of the austerity package. Egyptian officials ordered a probe into overnight clashes in Cairo's Tahrir Square. And Taiwan conducts a military drill to simulate an attack that could trigger multiple disasters.
The European Union has welcomed the Greek Parliament's vote in favor of severe austerity package that has sparked strikes and violent protests. The EU said that the move was a vital step back from what it called the very grave scenario of default. Greek MPs approved the deeply unpopular package of spending cuts and tax hikes by 155 votes to 138. The country is heavily in debt and the measures are needed to win the latest of a €110 billion loan. Greek MPs are to hold a second vote today on a bill outlining how the austerity package is to be implemented. Yesterday's vote prompted a furious response from the protesters in Athens. Demonstrators gathered outside Parliament on a second day of a two-day strike. Sporadic violent clashes were continuing in the capital in the early hours of today as well. Egyptian officials have ordered a probe into overnight clashes between police and protesters in Cairo's Tahrir Square that left hundreds of people injured. Riot police used tear gas to disperse hundreds of demonstrators who pelted officers with stones and firebombs. Fresh clashes broke out yesterday as angry crowds demanded action over the previous night's unrest. The riots are the most serious violence in Egypt in weeks. Officials say that more than 1,000 people were injured. Activists are calling for the speedy implementation of reforms demanded during the revolution that toppled President Hosni Mubarak in February. They also want senior officials to face justice for the deaths of 850 protesters during the uprising, including Mubarak himself, who is due to stand trial on the 3rd of August. After a long night of fighting, Egypt's Prosecutor General ordered the formation of a committee to investigate the clashes in Tahrir Square, the epicenter of the Egyptian protest movement. The announcement came hours after the Interior Minister ordered police to leave the square in an attempt to avoid any further violence. Taiwan conducted a military drill yesterday to simulate an attack that triggers multiple disasters. More than 1,200 military personnel, firefighters and police forces took part in the 2-hour-long drill called Jinghu exercise, the largest military exercise in recent years, according to Taiwan's Minister of Transportation and Communications. The drill was organized by the Office of Homeland Security of the Executive Yuan. Taiwan's president and the premier supervised the drill that kicked off at around 10 a.m. local time. The simulated scenario involved a strong typhoon hitting Taiwan, a group of insurgents entering the island from the Taipei port, hijacking a bus and fishing vessels, then finally setting off explosives on the boat that caused a radiation leak. The drill began with a drill at sea by the Coast Guards. The bus hijack was simulated by the military police, and police forces carried out an air defense simulation. The Taiwanese president said that Taiwan will take part in the global effort to fight terrorism and strive to create peace in the international community.
On to some sports news now. 2007 FIFA Women's World Cup runners-up Brazil claimed a narrow 1-0 win over Australia in their opening Group D match of the 2011 tournament in Germany yesterday.
Brazil met Australia in the 2011 Women's World Cup Group D fixture in Germany yesterday, with the pair being the final two teams to get their World Cup 2011 campaign underway and history favouring the South American side. Chances were sparse in the opening half, but Australia were in no way overwhelmed by their opposition. Midfielder Christiane capitalised on some scrappy Australian defending to head the ball to 28-year-old Rosanna, who was able to squeeze a shot past Aussie stopper Melissa Barbieri. The replay promptly removed any doubts that the strike might have been offside. Australia ran out of ideas as the clock ticked down, and a weak long-range effort from attacking midfielder Tameka Butt was the best they could muster. It finished 1-0 to Brazil, who go level on points with Norway in Group D after the opening round of group matches.
And finally, Rafael Nadal continued the defense of his Wimbledon title with a 6-3, 6-3, 5-7, 6-4 win over Mardy Fish in the quarterfinals yesterday.
The top seed showed no ill effects from the foot injury he suffered in his last match against Juan Martin del Potro, battering Fish with his trademark ground strokes and booming serves. American 10th seed Fish finally found answers to the Spaniard's onslaught in the third set, which he won, but Nadal quickly re-established control to stay on course for his third Wimbledon title and 11th Grand Slam crown. A subdued Novak Djokovic used all his experience to win a game of cat and mouse with Bernard Tomic and reach his third Wimbledon semi-final yesterday. The Serbian second seed looked out of sorts as he ended the dream run of the 18-year-old Australian qualifier with a 6-2, 3-6, 6-3, 7-5 victory. Djokovic has only lost one match all year and is threatening to take over the world #1 ranking from Nadal, but he looked uncomfortable at times against Tomic, his regular hitting partner.
And on that note, we wrap up lunchtime news for today. As always, many thanks for joining us. I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandaro. Take care.